Hello everyone, this is a very nice poem, The Microbe. Student, this poem, The Microbe is a part of science because you study it especially and in detail in the subject science. But here the poet Hilary Belloc has expressed her ideas in an imagination. This is a poem full of imagination because the imaginary thoughts has been expressed here by the poet. You can see here the name of the poem is The Microbe. In this picture you can see here are different type of pictures of microbes, the structure of the microbes. Let's see. A microbe is a tiny organism that can be seen other in a microscope. But does the poet think it is? Tiny means very small organism. This is a very small organism and it can be only seen under a microscope. Without microscope it is impossible to see a microbe. But we will read here that does the poet think it is? Let's see. The microbe is so very small. You cannot make him out at all. The poet start these lines about the very tiny form of the microbe. That microbe is a very small, tiny organism, and if you want to make him out from your cell, from your particular place, it is impossible to make him out at all due to its very tiny size. But many sanguine people, sanguine means होता है optimistic means आशावादी, people hope to see him through a microscope. Many optimistic people, sanguine people hope to see him through a microscope because they know that without microscope it is impossible to see it. So they hope it to see the structure of this virus, of this microbe through a microscope. His jointed tongue, now through the microscope the poet has seen the jointed tongue of a microbe. You can see here in this picture that lies beneath 100 curious rows of teeth. 100 curious rows of teeth. These are the rows of teeth, very dangerous rows of teeth, and the jointed tongue lies beneath those 100 curious rows of teeth. Means in the mouth of the microbes there are 100 of teeth, and those teeth are very curious row, and under it the jointed tongue has lied. His 7 tufted tails. Tufted tails means tails that look like a bunch of grass or hair. Tufted tails with lots of lovely pink and purple spots. Those microbe had tails, the tails that look like a bunch of grass or hair that tied together at one end, and it had lovely pink and purple spots. Lovely pink and purple spots. Okay. On each of which a pattern stand, and on the spots the pattern of the microbe stands clearly. Composed of 40 separate bands, and it composes 40 separate bands in its structure. That is also very unique to understand here, that all these bands are separate bands are also composed in the number of 40. His eyebrows are of a tender green, and through the microscope the poet finds that the eyebrow of a microbe is very green, tender green. All these have never yet been seen. All these have never yet been seen, and these microbes have, like these microbes we have never seen, because the eyebrows are green, very curious, 100 curious row of teeth, pink and purple spots. We can't see all these things in without microscope, and it seems that this is an imagination of the poet, because all the things is that is described here is only can be expressed by a poet or writer, because a scientist never mention different type of things about its structure and all these things. It is only a description that indicates to the imagination of the poet for a microbe. But scientists who want to know, and here now this is a term for the scientist who want to know, जिन्हें सारी चीज़ों के बारे में जानना चाहिए, जानकारी रखना चाहिए, एश्योरियस वे लोग हमें एश्योर करते हैं, बताते हैं दैट दे मस्ट बी सो, कि उन्हें वैसा ही होना चाहिए जैसा पोएट का इमेजिनेशन है, ऐसा ही उन माइक्रोब्स को होना चाहिए. मीन्स द साइंटिस्ट आर आल्सो एग्री विद द इमेजिनेशन ऑफ द poet. Oh, let us never doubt what nobody is sure about. Here, in this last line of the poem, the poet says that let us never doubt that maybe it is imagination of his mind, but he says that when scientists are also agree with his imagination, we must not have a doubt for it, and what nobody is sure about, that nobody is sure about, not nobody is sure about. This line indicates that nobody is sure about the structure, about the style, about the activity of those organisms, because through a microscope we found its very tiny form, and under those tiny form it is very impossible to see all the tiny organs of it. So nobody is sure about. He says that only the poet wants that this is an imagination, and according to his imagination everything will be clear about the structure, about the quality of those microbes. This is a nice poem explained by Hilary Belloc.